Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. My name is Kim, and today is my 38th Japanniversary. Yay! I can't believe it's been 38 years since I first came to Japan. I thought in today's video I'd just do a little look back. I had originally wanted to make a longer video with pictures, but the past couple of days I have been busy cleaning extensively. Hopefully, when it's all done, I can share it with you, but I'm going to be having guests next week. My place has not really been cleaned since my mom lived here, and by that I don't mean like I haven't dusted and did deep cleaning, but I have stuff everywhere because I still have things that I had to move from her room down onto the staircase, things from my room, things that are just put in another room for storage. I really want to get that all cleaned this summer. That is my goal. And since I will be having guests next week, this is the perfect time to do it. So I've been working really hard after school to try and get this all done. We'll see how it goes. It's been really fun thinking about the past 38 years, but obviously I can't really describe everything or all the things that I've been through. Otherwise, we'd be here for 38 years. So I thought I'd just make a quick video kind of recapping what I'm looking back on and remembering and feeling so grateful and blessed for in my 38 years here in Japan. So, of course, when I first came, it was on the JET program, and I'm going to put Bandit down because actually this week, I believe the first group of new JET participants arrived, and I think they are currently in the Keio Plaza Hotel having their orientation. That's exactly what happened to me. Interestingly, on my Twitter timeline, well, X timeline, and Instagram stories, there are so many people celebrating their Japanniversary today because if you were on the JET program, usually this is a time that you would be arriving. So I know I'm experiencing or celebrating my Japanniversary with many other people who decided to stay and continue their life here in Japan. So happy Japanniversary to those of you that are celebrating it the same day as I am. I came to Japan, I remember leaving on July 30th. I left out of LAX because I am from Los Angeles. My parents, I can't remember if my brother came to see me off. I don't think he did, but I don't remember. But I do remember my parents, my friend Marcy, and her son Matthew came to the airport and saw me off. I don't think my grandparents came. I don't think they were there. But I do remember being walked to the terminal gate by my dad, and just at that moment was when everything sort of emotionally hit because I had traveled internationally before. I've been to Canada and Mexico, but that's it, or that was it. So this was kind of a big trip. I had lived alone before. I was living by myself before I left, and I had worked before. I taught for 8 years in Los Angeles, so I felt really comfortable. I was 29 years old when I left, but my intentions were only to stay 1 year. If you watched my video about the real reason why I came to Japan, you can have a laugh and watch it here. But yeah, I was coming for a different reason, and then it sort of changed into really focusing on taking advantage of this opportunity to teach in Japan on the JET program. I was based in Tottori Prefecture, which at the time I came or I left to go to Japan, there wasn't very much information about Tottori Prefecture, let alone about things that happen on the JET program. we got a VHS videotape, or did we? No, we did. And that was from the prefecture. I had a letter that was written to me by my predecessor, and that was about it. During my 38 years in Japan, I have lived in 5 different prefectures. I have moved, I think, 12 times, 13 times, 12 or 13 times. The prefecture I've spent the most time in so far has been Tottori Prefecture, where I lived there for 13 years, but now I'm coming close because this is almost year 11, I think. I'm not sure about the math. In Kanagawa Prefecture in Yokohama. I have met so many wonderful people throughout my 38 years, both Japanese natives as well as people from other parts of the world. I have had good relationships, bad relationships, zillions of crushes, lots of heartbreak, but all in all, just such a, I don't want to say amazing. My social life in Japan has been super crazy. And those of you that know me in real life know some of the things and people that have been in my life. Not going to share it all here. You'll have to read the book. That's one of my bucket list goals, is to write a book, and I was going to title it Lessons I've Learned the Hard Way. I've experienced both marriage and divorce here in Japan. I say that smiling because it was not a bad memory or something that I am sad about. It was just, I guess, something that I needed to experience, and it just wasn't for me. So I'm glad that I prioritized what I felt was important. I lived in both rural areas and big city areas. I've experienced what it's like to be in a Japanese hospital and have procedures done in a Japanese hospital. I've experienced having to work with the police, all of which, of course, were not fun. But when you do experience these things, then it just makes you, I think, a little bit stronger and not so fearful of what your future here might be like. I've been on television, mostly for educational things, so I'm kind of happy that that happened. Oh, wait, I take that back. For educational things and for a dance show, which I was not and am not a great dancer, but the media happened to film parts of our performance, and so I was in a little blurb of the news. I have experienced singing and dancing on stage, which I absolutely loved. I never thought I would get those opportunities, but thank you to my dance teacher. I don't even know if she's still dancing or still alive, but thank you. Shout out to Studio Maki, because that was one of the best decisions that I made to get involved in dancing during my time in Tottori. Once again, I'm not a dancer. I'm not even flexible, but that was a big part of my life here. My career path always stayed in education. So after JET, I continued staying in Tottori to teach. My career path and the places that I taught at have been sort of up and down. It kind of went up and then down and then back up. I once did a workshop talking about what life was like for the past several years teaching in Japan. I have actually probably worked at or taught classes at over 50 schools in Japan, mostly elementary school, junior high, senior high. I did have experience at preschool, kindergarten, special ed schools, and the college experience I had was at an agricultural college, which was kind of interesting and challenging, but an experience I'll always treasure and remember. I've worked with so many talented and gifted teachers and educators from all over the world, not just Japan, but all over the world, because some of the schools I have been at have had teachers from other countries. That to me helped me grow and learn as a teacher. Just, yeah, I feel like my career path in education and teaching just kept going up and up and up with every new school that I worked at. My students, I say this about every single school that I work at because I really do have the best students. Maybe during class time and maybe when they had me as a teacher, they weren't the best, but every single student that you work with will have a tremendous impact on you as a teacher, you as a person, and you will grow and learn so much from your students. So thanks, guys, because the students that I had here in Japan all were so wonderful. I think if it wasn't for my students, I probably wouldn't have stayed as long as I have. And in hand, the teachers too, because the teachers that I've been able to work with also had a big role in why I decided to stay here. They had some pretty tough competition because I worked with the best teachers at my school in Los Angeles, who I still to this day keep in touch with as best as I can. They really helped me with my teaching so that when I came here to Japan, I felt confident, I felt ready, and yeah, I think the preparation that I had coming onto JET really, really helped. I thought that I had found my forever school and I was going to settle down in one particular place. And then my job really took a turn, a tumble, whatever you want to call it. I didn't get renewed, or I was told that I wasn't going to be able to continue at the school because of, I still to this day don't know, but I was very hurt by people that I thought were my friends. That's another story for another day. So, yeah, so that took me for a loop, especially because I had bought a place in that area, which I still have to this day and am thankfully renting it out. But that really took away a big part of me. It forced me to have to find another job very, very quickly, relocate in the period of 1 month, and kind of start all over. But I'm okay with challenges like that. I truly believe that sometimes when you're thrown a curveball or you're handed a bad deck of cards, you learn how to make it work for you. I've never, I don't think, I wouldn't consider myself a quitter. If anything, it's kind of like it lights a spark on you or in front of you, and you just have to ignite something new, which I feel like I did, and which I feel was probably the best thing that could have happened to me. it introduced me to a whole new group of people and educators that I truly value, their friendships, and just how uplifting they were, welcoming with open arms after I felt like I had been kicked to the curb by people I thought were my friends. So I came out, I think, a zillion times better. I think that if that happened, I think that happens to a lot more people than we realize, because when you start sharing stories or you start learning more about people, you do find that sometimes you'll have an incident or you'll have something happen in your life that you feel like, gosh, why me? Or why does this happen? But it gives you the power and the motivation to overcome whatever's been thrown at you. And I kind of felt like that's what happened to me. So it did introduce me to a whole new set of students, teachers, and experiences and opportunities. I was able to travel to Australia several different times and in different parts of Australia. And I was able to go to the UK. These trips were all school-related trips and school-related travel, so that for me was a very rewarding experience. I did travel with my previous school to the US on a trip, which I had an incredible time and met some amazing people as well. I keep saying amazing, but I can't think of other words other than amazing and incredible, because, yeah, it was just such a wonderful experience that I had the chance to go on these trips. When I first came to Japan, I experienced Japan life without computers and the internet. Not only that, but no cell phones, no digital cameras, no navigation system, no YouTube. So those beginning years were interesting. I'm glad I came when I did, because it really forces you to have to use your own resources and critical thinking skills to figure out how to do things, how to get from point A to point B, right? So I'm kind of proud that I survived all that. Even learning Japanese, we did have resources and books and teachers, but I'm a strong believer in immersion education. So learning Japanese that way was, I feel, like the best way that I could learn, especially being immersed in Tottori Prefecture, because, right, there weren't very many English speakers that I knew of. Later, as you go through, you realize that there are a lot more people that can speak and understand and communicate in English, but maybe they just didn't get the chance to do that in a prefecture where there weren't a lot of international tourism or people that were living there. Now it's all different. Now I think because of programs like the JET program and opportunities for people to work in Japan, I don't know what it's going to be like in the next couple of years. But at the time when I came, you saw a lot of growth and you saw a lot more opportunities unfolding, especially too, teaching English at the elementary school level was just starting. So I feel like I came at the perfect time. When I first came, I had to really learn how to communicate and adjust to living in a foreign country where I looked like everybody else, because I am of Japanese ancestry, but I didn't speak Japanese. I spoke some words and some phrases. I knew my numbers. I knew some vocabulary words, but I didn't know how to put it all together in sentences. I also had never spoken in Japanese. I listened to my grandparents, and sometimes even my parents speak in Japanese, but it wasn't a huge part of my life. So being thrown into a place where I looked like everybody else but didn't speak Japanese was very challenging. I learned a lot more about Japanese culture and about my family life, and it gave me sort of a new appreciation and interest in Japanese culture and learning more about my background and being comfortable with who I was as a Japanese American. Stay tuned for that video because I do want to talk about what it's like to be a Japanese American living in Japan. Even to this day, I feel like every day I'm learning something new, or I'm learning how to deal with things here, learning how to express myself a little bit better or improve things about how I communicate or how I adjust to things. I've definitely learned a lot about anger management, controlling my temper, maybe. Well, maybe not. Or just maybe learning how to express myself differently than maybe I would back in the US. I feel like every day still continues to be a new day with new challenges and new opportunities. So I feel like I'm very grateful that I was able to adjust and adapt to stay here as long as I have. When I first arrived in 1988, Noboru Takeshita was the Prime Minister of Japan. And this statistic I had to look up, and I'm kind of blown away by it. But during my 38 years, there have been 20 different prime ministers. I mean, I'm trying to think of how many. I should have looked at this up too, but there have been, since I've been alive, for those of you that don't know, I'm 67 years old. I'll be 68 in November. So during my 67 years, I've lived through different presidencies, but not 20 different. Wait, hold on. I'm going to look that up. Let me see. I'm going to ask, because I am curious, how many U.S. presidents have there been from 1958 to 2026? Anyone know off the top of your heads? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. 13 different presidents. And of course, one is 2 different terms, so they just count them as one. Okay, so 13 different presidents that I have lived through. So it's not even close yet to 20 different prime ministers in Japan. Also, too, we've just had the Kumamoto earthquake, so please keep everyone down there in your positive thoughts. They're experiencing a lot right now, still trying to locate survivors in the shopping mall or in areas that are still affected by the quake. That just happened a couple of days ago, and a lot of people contacted me. That happened on the island of Kyushu. So up here in the Kanto area, we didn't feel it at all. I didn't even know that there was an earthquake until I turned it on YouTube and I saw something and I thought, oh, and I just clicked on it and realized that there was an earthquake. So yeah, so I was living in Totori when the Hankyu earthquake in Kobe happened. I was living in Shizuoka when the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami happened. The lifestyle during that time did change a little bit, even though the area where I was living at wasn't damaged or anything. But we did experience things like rolling blackouts, shortages on different items. And I guess the most recent big, I guess not event, but big happening was COVID. Whoops, excuse me, that's the ice maker. I got an opportunity during when COVID was first starting out to write an article for a publication when Abe, when when Prime Minister Abe wanted to or decided to close schools, and I wrote a piece about how I supported when he closed down the schools. The 2 years that I spent with my mom, who was still living here during COVID, was I don't even know one word that could describe it, because it was scary, especially because my mom being elderly and being in quarantine and being a teacher, and just seeing or hearing of people that were dying, or just, oh, it was just living through it from beginning to where it is today. It was a very scary, but I don't know. When I look back, I actually see things about it that I don't want to say grateful for, but I felt very blessed because I was able to work from home for a while and spend time with Sinbad during his senior years, when he was, just the last 2 years of his life. I was able to spend 24/7 with Sinbad during his last 2 years. So I'm really grateful for that. I learned a lot more skills as a teacher, thanks to my partner teacher from Australia, who taught me a lot about how to teach online, how to uh, teach using Google Meets or Zoom, or how to make videos that the students could learn from. And then when we went back to school, we taught like staggered times, and we only had 9 children in the classroom at one time. They were all distanced. We had the covers. I went to school wearing a mask and a face cover. It was a time when you could teach your whole lesson without any interruptions. I mean, when you're a teacher, interruptions happen all the time during your lessons. But during COVID, we had to still teach communication and talking, but in this very distanced and safe environment. So the students couldn't talk close by. Everybody listened. We ate lunch in silence. Yeah, it was very strange times, which now the students that are from first to, I guess, fourth grade, they don't know anything about it. So my sixth graders, when they were first graders, they did come to school in masks, and we did have a lot of the partitions up and things like that. So yeah, so that was kind of interesting. During all three of those times, the earthquakes and COVID, a lot of people left. A lot of people left Japan, but I made the decision to stay. It's kind of crazy to think, but I've been in Japan for almost half of my life now. It's crazy because when I first came to Japan, and even when I first applied to the JET program, it was with the intentions of only staying 1 year. The weird thing was, I was so positive that I was only going to stay 1 year. I told reporters, I told principals that I was going back because I had just finished teaching the kindergarten class of 2000. People often ask me, how long are you going to stay in Japan? Or are you going to be there forever? Or what's going to happen next? But I don't know. I honestly cannot give anyone an answer. And actually, neither can you, because who knows what's going to happen. I've always taken life one day at a time, which is kind of now some of the things or the difficulty I have being retired and not being able to think so far ahead, because for me, every day is a blessing. I hope I wake up healthy the next morning, or I hope I can get through the day without any problems or hardships or injuries or health stuff. But there's no guarantees and nothing's promised. So I have to just live in the moment, and I'll think about the future when I think about the future. So, yeah, I know I'm still going to make a zillion mistakes. And I know from year 38, I'm still probably going to make some bad decisions. Hopefully, not that many, but I will probably make, and I hope I will make new friends. I'll have new students who I get to meet and hopefully influence in a good direction. I hope I can still try new things and enjoy doing things that I like. Um, Spending time with Bandit. And, I do want to get Bandit a friend, but I told him I can't until I get a little bit more financially set. So yeah, so if we do make this channel grow and grow and grow, you can help support and give Bandit a friend. No, that is kind of like, how they always say, don't forget to subscribe. That's my plea. If you want to help me get Bandit a friend, please subscribe. um, no, in all seriousness, I do have to prioritize things in my life to stay healthy, both physically, mentally. I do enjoy the job that I'm doing, even though some people will be like, oh my God, Kim, you're retired. Stop working. But I love the job that I do. I love most of the people I work with. Sorry, I can't say all, but I do enjoy where I'm at in my life. I want to continue to stay true to myself and to share as much as I can with people that maybe need to hear from an older person about how you can have a zillion things go wrong in your life, or a zillion things that maybe you didn't expect to happen. Maybe you have a relationship that didn't work out. I've done all that. I think all I can say is, as long as I can stay healthy and strong, both mentally emotionally and physically, and prioritize myself so that I can stay true to myself, believe in the things that I feel are important, take care of the people and pets that I love, be able to impact and hopefully change the world for the better with the work that I do, with the students and teachers and people that I encounter and meet in my life. As long as I can do all of that, I'm going to keep living and loving my life here in Japan. I don't know where things are going to take me or even what's going to happen in Japan with all these new changes with permanent residency and all that stuff. Once again, another video for another time. But yeah, I've had a great 38 years. So I'm drinking water. All right. So here's to 38 unbelievable years in Japan, and happy Japanniversary to all of you that came on July 31st, and to me, who came on July 31st, 1988. Cheers! Thank you for sharing this celebration with me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much, because you're a part of my life here too. All right, bye-bye.